What's my joke?
Yeah.
What's black and white and red all over? A newspaper.
And why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know why the chick will cross the road.
To get to the idiot's house. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The chicken.
Okay.
What's not heavy and blue? Light blue.
What do you call a cow that has only 2 legs? Lean beef.
Did you hear about the skunk that went to church? He sat in his own pew. Oh, I wish I had something good.
I struggle with addiction issues myself.
If you've ever watched the TV show Mad Men, I was one of them. I didn't chase secretaries, but I have some tales that I can't relay here.
Since I was probably 14, I've dabbled in smoking weed, drinking here and there. Made some friends with the wrong crowd, started using a little bit heavier stuff.
My life's been pretty much normal. Family life, 3 kids. My wife and I both worked. Everything was really great until one day my wife came home from work early and found him injecting heroin. And it was just kind of a wake up for all of us. He's my youngest son.
My wife and I realized the damage. Not only does it do to the person who's the addict, but the collateral damage that it does to the family.
My family of origin, as well as my marriage, had addiction intertwined in it, and I saw the devastation that it caused.
I had an issue with my now ex-wife with lying and going and using methamphetamines behind her back. After a while, I ended up losing my house, losing my job.
Especially with siblings in the house where, as a parent, you want to focus on the needs of the person who's an addict. And you see you go with some hyper-focus that you tend to forget there's other kids in the house.
I was gonna sit in jail for 6 months. Nobody was gonna bail me out. I have, a son and a daughter, and I was like, I can't be in here that long. I'm gonna lose them.
My brother, it actually took his life. So I see firsthand what it does to the individual who's suffering with addiction, as well as the family group.
I think we're put here to serve. And in my case, it's to serve other people who have the same problem that I have. And I don't say had because I'm not cured. The only thing that's cured is a ham. And I can be one of those parts of the time too. We are not cured, never. We are on our way, that's it. I'm just as crazy as I ever was. I will admit that. But I don't use alcohol and I don't use drugs. It can be done. I try to show them it can be done.
Whenever I was in jail, I started reading the Bible. Things got easier, God started answering my prayers. And Joe Crook was like, well, your parents said that you can't stay with them. You don't have a permanent address. So they're willing to help you get into a rehab.
I ran out of answers, ran out of ideas, and decided that I would go to his way and see if God was real and if he could actually help me with my recovery. And I've been sober ever since.
We're trying to get my son on the straight and narrow, but we're meeting with a therapist. And surprisingly, he says, I'm going to teach you how to kick your son out of your house with love. In order for anybody who's in that situation, you're going to have to go through a program and come to the conclusion themselves that they don't want to use anyone. My wife pointed this out to me, and she says, I think we're standing between him and God, so we just need to get out of the way. Finally got himself pulled together, and he's doing great now.
He began a recovery that was inspirational to me. Developed a strong sense of brotherhood with the other guys in the program, a lot of strong mentors. that program saved his life and it gave him a future. And that's why I'm here to pay that forward.
If people haven't been there and haven't had an issue of that sort, even if it's been in a family, it's really hard for them to understand the draw, the compulsion when it starts.
Too many churches, I think, are afraid to have the pews filled with recovering addicts. It's not appealing. Sometimes it's a dirty situation, but these are people who are trying to get themselves clean, and they're still suffering with something that they can't overcome by themselves. It's important to reach out to people as they are.
We're all living in sin, and we all have something to recover from. So I see these guys on the same battlefield that I'm on.
Don't be afraid. I was scared to death when somebody approached me about working with people in addiction. I didn't know anything about addiction. I didn't know anything about recovery, and I didn't want to. But when I did, I was so surprised to learn that people in recovery are no different than me. They want love and respect. They want friendship. They want to be able to raise their kids.
I'm in my 4th phase now out of the custody court, so now I get my kids every other weekend. They may be going recovery and I might be helping them, but I'm constantly as well being recovered through that. I'm hoping that I can see more families come together.
Could you imagine 6, 7 years ago that I would have a conversation with Michael about what's the best lawnmower to use in the backyard? He has got 2 kids, 2 boys, and doing very well. He's doing very well himself.
In 2013, we both came through recovery, and the mentors that we built relationships with ever since the very beginning, we've just became family.
Going and being with other sober addicts and alcoholics and relying on each other's for accountability, for companionship, for credibility. It's standing up, man. It's being there.
I am largely a Bible teacher. I learn as much from them as they do from me, and I get surprises from time to time, and that's what I'm really enjoying. I have to think on my feet to meet their needs.
I've done hundreds of one-on-one Bible studies with guys in recovery. Some of them have passed on, some of them are in jail, some of them are thriving. And it keeps me honest and vulnerable about my own sin, about my own weaknesses, about who I am as a person, and just keeps me grounded to be able to do this kind of work.
His way at this point has no medical services, not even a nurse. And the triage is being done by the staff. Being in medicine and family practice, of course, I've seen people that had addiction problems. What I'm going to bring to the table is somebody who has been there. I know how to triage. I know what I can treat, but I know what needs to, we can stay there and we can take care of it ourselves.
There are so many different ways you can give beyond just money. We've got people who volunteer their skills. We've got people who are in construction. We've got people who are in the healthcare industry or dentistry.
We saw a unique way to offer their guys to volunteer with us. These guys come in, for the most part, are really hungry and eager to kind of get their lives back on track.
Jesus said, go into all the world. It gets easier sometimes to write a check than it really is to invest my heart, my mind, and my body into what's really going on.
Don't overthink it. Just make a phone call. If you're interested in volunteering, call me, call the office phone, say, hey, I would like to help. We'd love to meet with you.
We have to stand up. I mean, if it's not going to be us, who is going to be?
I wouldn't be alive right now if I hadn't come alive. Stand up for recovery. Stand up, sit down, shout, lay down, kneel down. I don't care. Whatever way works, yes, we can stand up for recovery. You got to be involved in life. You can't sit still. Stand up. That's my mantra, man. And I'll yell that mantra till the day I pass, till he calls me home. That's my plan.